I don't believe in college. By the end of this video, you might not either. We see college or university as a major stepping stone in someone's life, and one might put a lot of weight on choosing their major or the college they go to. It's a big commitment. The expectation is that you go to college, you get your degree, and then you get your job, and that's that. But some fields don't work that way, and in today's climate, the work field looks a little different. Some people are shamed for going to community college, or for not going at all for whatever reason applies to them. Some people can't afford it. Some people choose not to go just for their own reasons. At the end of the day, post-secondary is expensive and not everyone has the privilege to go to it. A lot of people have their intelligence or their capabilities defined by a certification or a question by a lack thereof. There's a lot of value in the information that's available on the internet, and that doesn't take away from someone's skills or their capabilities. That being said, I still have my own takeaways from my college experience that I would like to offer for perspective. I graduated from college twice, once in 2020 and again in 2022. My first program was really good and I had a really good time. I met some great people. I had some experiences that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And I did learn some valuable information. I wouldn't trade the experience and I wouldn't diminish what I learned. I liked my classmates, I liked my teachers, and I was getting out of my usual environment. Though this was right before the pandemic in 2020, so that was pretty short-lived. My second program, I actually had a decent time in the first semester, despite the pandemic, of course. Maybe I'm just a sucker for nostalgia. By the time my second semester was over, I was burnt out and I didn't have a lot left in me to keep going, and I nearly failed. I had to write a letter to my professor letting him know what was going on. Otherwise, if I didn't, I would have failed. And this wasn't just me. I had multiple people in my program drop out of it, and I had friends of mine who had the same experience where they had a very difficult time upholding themselves. I decided to step away for a gap year to collect myself, and that's when I made this channel, and that's when I got a part-time job at a restaurant. It was a very eye-opening experience for me, taking that time off. Ultimately, I quit my job to finish my studies and go back to college, but I was with an entirely new group of people that I wasn't familiar with, despite one person, but that's besides the point. I don't hold ill will towards these people. They were helpful to me and they were nice, but I knew that they weren't my crowd. I knew that I didn't really mesh well with them. I didn't get to graduate alongside my original peers, and I don't know, it just felt like I was kind of lost. My new group already seemed very familiar with one another in a way that I was not, and I found myself feeling quite lonely. I wasn't alone, but I felt that way. It felt like a complete 180 to the first semester I had experienced, which was, felt very communal and very not like this. Ultimately, I found myself having similar frustrations to before I took my break. I found myself not feeling in tune with the work, the industry, and the culture that came alongside it. It was a very go, 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 like hustle kind of mentality where it was just like, keep going, keep pushing, And mind you, I was in an art field, like we were studying art, so keeping up with that as an artist and, making it on demand at such a fast pace, it caught up to me really quickly and it wore me down faster than I could have imagined. I was burnt out and it happened like that. In the end, I graduated, but I graduated alone. And I didn't see any of my peers at my graduation. I wasn't sure if I mixed up the dates, but I was pretty certain that I hadn't. But nonetheless, I just learned that that experience wasn't for me, and this wasn't my crowd. This wasn't work that fueled me. I felt like it was burning me more than I burned for it. Now, I'm not saying that nobody should go to college, right? That's not what this video is about. For some, and for what they want to do with their lives and what field they wish to go into, it is a good choice for them. Like the classmates I couldn't really connect with. They burned for what they did. They burned for the work that they were doing in a way that I didn't. Some positions require it, like doctors, nurses, anyone who is doing a job more important than mine, they require a certification. That's more than enough reason to go to college or university. And the value of having guidance in person and having real-time feedback is invaluable. However, it isn't an end-all. It doesn't define you or your career at the end of the day. You get your degree and, you're not guaranteed a job at the end of the day, especially in the art field. Your portfolio is more likely to define whether or not you get the job. And ultimately, some people just decide not to go at all, and that's totally fine. I have my dream job, making videos and making music that connects with people. It's something that I burn for, and it may not be the greatest on paper, and it might not make me that much, but I don't see myself doing anything else. I see a purpose much greater than that. I see value much greater than that. I feel like this is what I was put on the earth to do. I wouldn't trade this for the world. Just like many people have different things that they burn for and different passions they care about. I think at the end of the day, everyone has their own unique sets of skills that they have to offer. That collectively is what makes the world spin and go around. I don't think it should be any less than that. I invite you to share your own experience with me down below, positive or negative. I feel like this is a very personal experience and can vary for everyone. I think one day I might go back to college for different reasons. There's a lot more I could and would like to learn. We are forever learning. We don't stop learning. until we're dead, obviously. But yeah, I don't think post-secondary is bad or wrong. I'm not coming on here to say, don't go, it's bad. I'm not saying that. I'm simply expressing what I personally learned. And I wanted to share that perspective with you because I feel like there's a lot of shame surrounding this topic, especially in respect to people who choose not to go or can't go to college, and for whatever reason that applies to them, as I said earlier. Hopefully it enlightens someone. Hopefully it can help someone in some way. Not attending college or university doesn't make you less intelligent, doesn't make you less of a person, doesn't diminish your qualities, your talents, or your skills. You're just as capable of doing anything that you want in your life. And it is okay to change your mind at the end of the day. What I'm doing today is nothing remotely similar to what I went to college for. So maybe I believe in college a little bit, but I do believe still that we shouldn't put so much faith into it in regards to our future. And we shouldn't put so much of our self-esteem on the line. A certification doesn't properly showcase one's abilities and talents. And ultimately, do what makes you happy. Do what you feel is right for you, regardless of who judges you for it, regardless of who thinks it's a valid line of work, or whatever they think. You know what's right for your path, post-secondary or not. If I could turn back time and choose things differently and take the time to do what I truly burned for and truly felt passionate about, instead of going through the motions of learning all of these things, I would. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more from me, you can watch the other videos I've put out, or you can like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodles!